That was a long story, man.
He's Southern.
John, I love your hat, man. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Where'd you get it?
There's a story behind it.
I'm all ears.
Well, Bob will tell you better. It was a gift from Bob.
So the hat is very simple. A subscriber to the podcast and a good friend of mine ordered a Libertarian logo hat about 9 months ago. And when he opened his box from Amazon, that was the hat that was in the box. And he didn't know what to do with the hat. And I said, give it to me. I know what to do with the hat. And now we have the hat.
Don't tread on me. I'm going to tread on you hard, motherfucker. So here's a hat that says I heart titties and beer. Fuck your selfish-ass fucking political movement, you dumb fuck.
Oh, I needed that.
Okay. All right, we're not at that fucking...
All right, so if my math is correct, our two big pieces of business today are discussing Band of Brothers and 5 premium channel, top 5 premium channel shows, correct?
I have gone absolutely batshit fucking crazy with these top 5 lists, by the way.
Number 5. First and foremost, I just got to say, I don't watch Cinemax and I don't watch Stars, so my top 5 is going to all come from Showtime. Number 5 is going to be The Affair, for sure. Okay, well, I'm going to have to remember what number 4 was. Number 3 is Billions. Number 2 is Shameless.
Say Shameless.
Shameless for number 2, and my number 1 is a dark horse. Is I'm Dying Up Here.
All right, so I'm going to do mine real quick, mostly because I have to shit really bad. So, and this is in no order.
Well, why don't you go shit? Because we should actually talk about these shows and give commentary on it instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, moving on. Cool.
Do you want me just to take the camera with me while I shit?
No, please do not. Just
I will.
Take a shit.
Stop, go shit. Number 4 was The Chi.
The Chi, okay.
And realistically, 2 through 3 were all really, really close. I kind of wanted to move Chi up to my number 2, but it's still on the air. I figure I'll give Shameless its due, but The Chi is a fantastic show if nobody's seen it.
See,
especially John, being from Chicago, I think you would love it.
I've heard so many good things about Shameless, and I've only watched like the first 2 episodes. It's just a show that I never got into.
You never watched Shameless?
Nope.
Oh, dude, if you talked about Fargo, you guys told me about, if you thought that was entertaining, there's 11 seasons to get through, and it just ended, but I'm telling you, that's a show that it's not better or worse than anything you like, but there's not a bad episode of it, and it's all fucking good, man, straight through, and it's a show you would fucking, like he said, you would love. The Chi I've never seen, I always wanted to, I've heard it's nothing but good.
Essentially, The Chi, it revolves around a group of like 10-year-old black kids are the main cast in Chicago, growing up in the inner city of Chicago, and one of their buddies gets murdered, and one of them witnesses the murder. Watch the show. It's really good.
How many seasons are out so far? I
think the 3rd season just finished.
And have you, I know it's off topic, I'm just curious because you watch stuff that I don't watch. Have you either of you watched Black Monday yet on Showtime with Don Cheadle?
I never even heard of it.
No.
Okay.
My honorable mention was the one with Kevin Bacon, where he's a cop.
City of Lies?
City on the Hill?
City on the Hill. Yeah, that looks good. I've never seen that yet. Is Bob?
I saw a couple episodes, but not enough to say I could definitively put it on my list. It's a good show.
I like Kevin Bacon. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
What's that? Stir of Echoes. That was a great movie. I haven't seen that.
Great movie. Movie still creeps me fuck out. I actually watched it a few months ago.
I haven't watched that since it came out. I previewed that in the movie theater. I was working at the movie theater when that came out.
I was really fucking sad when they when they canceled I'm Dying Up Here.
Yeah, that was a great show too. I really do love that hat, John. That is, I would wear that. I really want to get mine. I want to get a pink one.
It's a message.
I will mail it to you.
You'll never encounter somebody, no matter what walk of life, religion, or cultural background, that doesn't agree with that message.
Amen, man. Amen.
Even gay guys love titties and beer.
That's true too.
Now where I come from, we call.
Is that also where the worst pizza's made? Where you come from?
Here's the thing about Chicago style pizza. Most people in Chicago getting a Chicago deep dish pizza, that's like a fucking special occasion fucking thing. It's not what we eat on the regular. What we eat on the regular is what's known as pub pizza, which is thin cut, it's thin crust, cut into fucking squares, and it's absolutely fucking delicious. That's the true Chicago pizza that people eat, but it's always like, oh, deep dish. No, deep dish is fucking amazing, but it's like a special occasion thing. Because one, it's extremely fucking expensive. You're talking $30 fucking for a pizza, but one slice is a fucking meal. You are only going to eat one slice of it and be fucking filled up.
I would argue though that the pub pizza isn't a Chicago thing. I think it's a Midwestern thing, because that's what Paul and I eat up here. That's every kind of pizza up here is a cracker crust pizza.
Cracker crust, yeah. Here's how I'll break it down. If we're doing it just by like generics of regions, New York pizza hands down is my favorite. Then the Midwest, which you call pub style, we just call it. That's the only kind of pizza you get where we're from.
Yeah,
it's my favorite, and oven pizza specifically is my favorite pizza in the world. And then Chicago's number 3, and then Detroit's number 4.
I love a Detroit with the crispy edges and the thick crust. Yeah, Detroit style pizza's fucking great.
That was straight up Colombian coffee. Ooh.
All right, we've gone through Paul's list. We talked about it a little bit. Now we're going to go through Bob's. Bob's top 5 premium shows. Number 5. Go.
The Affair.
Okay, so The Affair has made 2 lists so far.
Wait,
maybe I should get back on that.
The Affair.
My problem with The Affair is that even though fucking McNulty is in it, and I like him as an actor, I literally do not like a single fucking character on that show, and I do not care about what's going on with them. That's where I'm at with that. And I'm only like 3 or 4 fucking episodes in, but I have no bond to any of the characters. I'm like, they're all assholes.
Oh, yeah.
If you stick with it long enough, you'll also get to hate Brandon Fraser's career revival.
Oh, I love Brandon Fraser.
Yeah, you'll hate his character in this, but this is like his big revival.
I don't really have an order, so to speak. So, The Affair...
It's like watching The Affair is like watching Magnolia. Like, who the fuck do you root for in that movie? All the characters are fucking gross.
So, The Affair, Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful, yeah.
I love Penny Dreadful, dude. Fucking loved Penny Dreadful.
Seen a few episodes here and there.
Shameless, obviously.
Okay, Shameless has made 2 lists so far.
Dexter,
okay.
And
Asterisk, except for the last 2 seasons.
I'm fine with them.
No, boy.
They weren't my favorite, but I'm not going to disqualify a show because of 2 shitty seasons.
Alright, good.
And The American Gods.
That's a great show.
I've always wanted to see that, but I don't have that. Is that Cinemax?
That's Stars. But I'll let you. I'll get it for you, Paul. I'll get copies of that for you. The fucking book is so good. The show is so good. Ugh.
I'm a big fan of everybody who's in the cast, and anything that focuses around angels, demons, religion, shit like that. I'm always about.
That's not what this is, but you'll still like it.
It's very good.
Well, mythology in general.
American Gods. I only saw the first 2 seasons of. I haven't finished Shameless. I haven't finished the last season. Obviously, I watched all of Dexter. I'm almost done with The Affair. Penny Dreadful, I powered through it in like fucking 3 days during the pandemic, it felt like.
Didn't care for it.
My favorite character is not the same as everyone else. Everyone loved, what's her name? Ava Green? That was everyone's favorite character. My favorite character was the guy who played the creature, Frankenstein's monster. I loved him as a character. Like, his story arc is just so fucking horrible. Just can't find happiness. Gets a bride of Frankenstein. She fucking goes insane. And then there's just a scene where he's on what are those ships called? Icebreakers?
Mhm.
And it's breaking through all this ice, and he just gets off and he's walking across the fucking glacier alone in the snow, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's just sad. And then there's lots of crazy naked people with pentagrams carved in their chests, and it's a really weird show.
Sounds wholesome.
All right, Doug, you're up.
Oh, okay. I thought John was going. My bad. So are we doing it in order of like it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter? Okay. Well, I'll go from 5. 5 is a show on Stars called Boss that ran for 2 episodes with Kelsey Grammer. My number 4 pick is a show that ran on Cinemax for 1 season called Quarry. But well-deserving, great season. My 3rd show is another Stars show, Party Down. My number 2 show is Billions, and my number 1 show is Banshee, also a Cinemax show, now on HBO Max. 4 seasons, and I bought every Blu-ray for that show. I love that fucking show. So
I wish you wrote it down. I guaranteed that you were going to put Banshee number 1.
Point of privilege.
Fucking love Banshee.
I can't wait till we do streaming, because that's when I think this list will get interesting.
All right, number 5, Weeds.
I actually wrote that down. That is a good show.
Not on anybody's list. That was very, very surprising. I thought that would be on your guys' list.
I never watched it.
To me, that's another one of those shows where like season 1 and 2 were really good, and then I just dropped out of it after that.
Kevin Nealon makes that show.
Kevin Nealon is fucking amazing in that series. The whole cast is great in that series. Number 4, Californication.
That's a good show, too.
Oh, God.
Great fucking show.
That's about Paul.
One of my favorites. Like, oh my God.
It's about Paul's exploits.
I think I screwed up on my list. I totally forgot about Californication.
Man, being a big poon hound that you are.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
Ray Donovan was another one I struggled with, too.
I forgot about Ray Donovan. God damn it! I want to change my fucking list, man.
too late.
Fuck you. You did this last week.
Number 3, Dexter. Like Bob, even though the last 2 seasons kind of fell flat on their face, the fucking first 4 fucking seasons of that show are outstanding television. Number 2, Party Down. Of course, got a Party Down on there. And then number 1, with a bullet, Spartacus.
I thought Spartacus was A&E. No, Spartacus was new. You're right.
Stars.
Oh, Spartacus with stars.
One of the only Star shows I've seen then.
What a fucking visually ultraviolet, just fucking pleasing show that was. And the main fucking actor died after the first season, and they said, fuck it, we're going to get a different actor and keep going forward. And it actually kind of worked.
Hey, and let's not forget its main contributor to American culture. We got to see Xena's breasts. And
Oh, yeah. Well, there's also a lot of penis in that show for the ladies. Lot of horsecock in that show.
Yeah, because as you know,
Lot of horsecock.
you get to see the Punisher's dick.
Ray Stevenson or John Bernthal or what's the other one?
That Punisher.
Dolph
Lundgren or
And
Thomas Jane. I will say, honorable mention, I did have 3. Power on Stars, if you guys have never seen it. Ash vs. Evil Dead on Stars, if you've never seen it.
It was alright.
And Mr. Mercedes, the now defunct AT&T network show, original.
Started watching that. I need to get back on it. That was really fucking good.
It is
That
so
was
good.
fucking creepy. Like when he's fucking his mom and shit, I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, that show is fucked up. The second season is good, but not as good. And season 3, I never finished, but it's a completely different story.
Is that streaming on anything right now?
It's on Peacock now. Peacock has it.
So what was so great about Billions?
Watch it. You'll understand. It'll do a better job than us explaining it. It's so fucking good. It's an acting class. It's funny. It's angering. It's action filled. It's dramatic. It's just great all around.
I like it a lot because it's a show that blurs the lines between fiction and reality. Like, it's a story. It's made up. But there's a lot of correlations to real life. Like, 9/11 really happened in the timeline.
People
It
capitalized.
It pulls from a lot of, like, it pulls from the Bernie Madoff story. It pulls from a lot of real life scenarios in real life.
About how fucking disgusting and shady the investment world and stock world really is.
And they
And the
make
Southern-
it.
And they do a good job. They do a good job of telling it and actually getting you involved with characters that you like or dislike, and even characters you really like do some shady shit, and you're like, oh, this is what the investment community probably is actually like.
It
And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but my father worked on the CBOE, the Chicago Board of Exchange. My father was a stockbroker, and my mother was a receptionist for the firm that he worked for. That's how they met way back in the day. So that's just always been kind of fascinating to me. Like movies like Wall Street. Like my father was actually investigated for insider trading. There were black vans parked out of our side of our house when I was a kid. You know, some of my dad's friends went to fucking jail. Like crazy shit like that. So anytime there's a movie or a show kind of made about that world, it's always fascinating to me because it's part of like my family heritage, I guess you could say.
Every single member of the cast, Bob, is a heavy hitter. There's not a weak point in the cast.
So Ray Liotta's not in it.
Son of a bitch.
Actually, he is.
Yeah, fuck that show then.
Oh, I want to punch you so fucking bad. Fuck the league then, because you love the league and he's in the league, asshole.
Yeah, fuck off.
If anything, I think it's also a really good morality play, and Billions does something that nobody's ever done for me. I hate math. I fucking hate numbers. I don't understand math. I can add, I can subtract. That's about the extent of it. And I avoid that kind of shit at all costs. Billions does a really good job for somebody like me explaining, or at least packaging it nicely for an idiot like me when it comes to the world of finance. It's fascinating, dude.
Well, what I found enjoyable about Penny Dreadful is a good example, since none of you guys really watched it. The entire show, the lore is based on all of the monsters you grew up on as a kid. Basically, all the Universal monsters, and that's what it's about. You name any fictional monster from history, and it's pretty much in there. I was hooked right there. Just the idea that, okay, there's going to be a fucking Wolfman here at some point. Dorian Gray shows up, you know, it's just... And then Timothy Dalton is like a fucking vampire hunter who's like a badass. You know, seeing Timothy Dalton at like 104 years old just kicking ass.
I love Timothy Dalton.
I'll have to check it out. Bob, so you finished Band of Brothers?
I did.
And we asked you what your response was in a typical Bob fashion. You were like, I like it, but I found some historical inaccuracies.
There were some
that I
huge
was like-
historical inaccuracies. I'm sorry, it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense
no, you're absolutely right.
to
'Cause
spend that
actually-
amount of money.
Yeah, I read an entire article, like top 10 things Band of Brothers got historically inaccurate. Like, you're absolutely right.
The two biggest ones they got wrong. So, was it episode 10? Receipts opens with them standing on this fucking broken down apartment building that's been shelled multiple times, and then you see a bunch of action. And it cuts back to the exact same scene, and Winters comes out and he's like, "The war's over. Hitler's dead." Well, it was August 11th, not August 30th. So where did the 19 fucking days go? Where did the days go?
Good point.
Then Blythe, he's like he died in action. No, he fucking didn't. He recovered, went to fucking Korea, and then fought there. Come on, guys, you can't do that. But otherwise, I love the show. I mean, the show was great, but when you're gonna use real people, you can't just be like, no, he fucking died. But he didn't die. He lived and fought in another fucking war, and lived through that war, and then went home. So, yeah,
I agree with you. As far as the Hitler thing goes, the killing himself, yes, a completely historical inaccuracy. However, they never went to Berlin. Easy Company didn't. They went for the Eagle's Nest. They just wanted to outflank the French. That really wasn't a consequential part of Easy Company's story, was Hitler's death, in the fact that it did end the European front of the war. As far as the Blythe thing, you're absolutely right. There's no excuse. They should have at least got the after action details on that. One thing I found this week that I didn't even see on HBO Max, it might be on HBO Max, but I found it on YouTube. They actually did a documentary on HBO called "We Stand Together Alone" after Band of Brothers, and they got every surviving member of Easy Company left, and it's all, you know, like when you're watching the show and the
Yeah.
show clips of the guys, it's the documentary of all the footage,
Mm-hmm.
all the guys. It's just the real life guys talking, which was really good. So I mean, if anybody wants to follow on and watch that,
I'll
I have
follow up on that, absolutely.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. And like the thing that I thought the most about was, and I told John this, like you can see a little bit of yourself in each of these people. You know,
Yeah.
like you want to think you'd be like Spears, but we all know that's not who you'd really be like. You know, running across in the middle, and you know what I mean. That's what everyone wants to think they would be like.
some people are like that though.
Yeah, but the majority of people aren't.
Yeah, agreed. I completely agree.
You know, there's just as many people that are going to be like Bly and get fucking shell shocked and have hysterical blindness as they are to run across the fucking field. So I love seeing the dynamic of how they showed the different sides of it and how it affected people. And like me and John talked about, not to take anything away from soldiers today, but those motherfuckers had it way harder, man. Way harder. You know, when they were in Bastogne and no food, no winter clothes, no water, no nothing.
No ammunition to fight
Yeah.
a war. No
ammunition.
No fucking ammo.
You know, just
They-
go out there.
The Germans never advanced. They held the line.
Yeah, that
it's
was
fucking
that was
insane.
that was my whole thing watching Generation Kill. Like, I'm watching Generation Kill, and all these hardcore Marines are fucking bitching about not having batteries for their night vision goggles. And I'm like, that's really fucked up. Why do our Marines not have batteries for their night vision goggles? And then I think back to, like, World War II, and I'm like, fuck your night vision goggles.
Right? These motherfuckers had they had a shovel and a sidearm. And
Oh, my God. Yeah.
that was another historical inaccuracy that bothered me.
What's that?
So at the end, when the Major surrenders to Winters, he denies the pistol. In real life, he kept the pistol.
Watch the documentary because
I know, I saw that.
he pulls
Yeah.
the pistol out in the documentary.
Yeah, so it's like, why change that though? Like for dramatic effect, no, just fucking leave it in.
Just to follow up on that,
Because it's a TV show.
just to follow up on that real quick because it's really cool. When Winters pulls it out to show, the real Winters pulls the real pistol out, and he's like,
It's never been fired.
Yeah, after he surrendered it, I didn't realize it for a couple hours until I started looking at it. It was never fired once.
Fired.
No.
Never fired a pistol once.
Because Nazi officers didn't do their dirty work. They had the soldiers do it for them.
And I
They
told
were a
John
bunch of
this.
fucking pussies.
I told John this, and I didn't get a chance to tell you this, Paul, but during my research, Easy Company was not the first people into the Eagle's Nest. There's a guy who lived down here in Florida who was in something armor division who was actually with the French on the other side. They were racing up to the mountain. They were the first ones in. They broke the glass. This guy who lived in Cocoa Beach, Florida, had Hitler's personal phone book.
So, wait, hold on. I'm gonna argue with you.
Like his
You
yellow
got to
pages?
realize that in real life, there's shit that happens. First off, Easy Company was the first one to the Eagle's Nest, and I'll argue with anybody that till the day I die. When I was stationed in England, I was stationed at the 501st Bombardier Royal Air Force Base. In World War II, we took over all the Royal Air Force Base after Pearl Harbor got bombed. We just came over and took over England and all the bases.
These are ours now.
If you ever seen the movie Memphis Belle,
No.
it's a movie about the bomber that got the first 50 combat bombings over Germany. Memphis Belle wasn't the first one. Hell's Angels was the first bomber that actually got 50 missions 3 days prior to Memphis Belle. When the team got home from their 50th mission, and all the news articles where all the news people were standing around at the Air Force Base, the crew gets off and they were like, "Hey, we need to have you guys come in, and we're going to do a couple-hour press conference about your 50th mission." And the commander of the Hell's Angels said, "My men have been bombing for 20 days straight, and we just did 50 missions in 20 days. We ain't fucking talking to nobody. We're going to bed." So, when Memphis Belle was the second one to get 50 missions done, they're the one who got all the credit because they stopped and did all the media press circuit. 501st Easy Company was the first one to hit the Eagle's Nest. people came after them. The French came after them, but Easy Company already raided the good shit.
I don't know, man, because this guy, he said in his possession, he had
the phone book. I won't argue that.
Not just the phone book.
No, man. That's an actual set list from a Neil Diamond concert. I paid big money for that on eBay. Looks like a Xerox to me, man. Yeah, I got Hitler's Yellow Pages, man. I got his phone book. Takes you back in time. There's some guy named Rufus.
He also had crystal glasses that were A on one side and an H on the other. All kinds of crazy shit that he took. And they asked how did you get it out of there? He's like, in people's foot lockers, and then it was shipped to this place, and then shipped to this place, and shipped to this place. And
sadly, Vietnam was the last war where service members got to take war trophies home. There's just no way for us to get it back anymore.
Yeah. One of my dad's friends, I don't know how he got all this shit home, but some of the weaponry he had after Vietnam was stuff that he had in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff that he had taken off of people he'd killed and whatnot.
My dad somehow got his rifle and his bayonet back from Vietnam.
Yeah,
and he gave me his fucking bayonet when I was like really young, like 9 or 10 years old, and my dad had a Dremel motor tool, and I thought that it would be easy for me to like sharpen it and clean it up with it. So I took all the black finish off the fucking blade. When my father fucking saw that, oh my god, was he fucking pissed. And he had every fucking right to be. I didn't fucking know.
Yeah, the Cerakote makes it proof it'll never.
It's like, look, Dad, I cleaned up your bayonet for me. And he's like, what the fuck did you just do? And I was like, I don't know. It's all fucking scratched up.
The answer is easy. Why it can't be done anymore? X-ray machines. They mailed it back to themselves. They would literally just mail the shit in boxes. There's a U.S. post office on every base.
Well, they showed how Spears was doing it. He was taking everything and like sending it home to pay for their wedding and shit.
My question for the group is, it's a 2-part question. First question is, what's your favorite episode? Second question is, why is it Why We Fight?
Why We Fight.
I can't remember the titles to the... Dude, I watched 6 episodes in one day, so...
Yeah, Why We Fight's definitely my favorite episode.
Give me
you know it's coming. You know you're watching World War II. You know you're in Europe. You know it's only a matter of time before they come across a concentration camp. Yeah. And when they do, I mean, we've all seen Schindler's List. We know how horrible it was, but watching them liberate the concentration camp was like just so fucking emotional. And the first time I saw it, and to this day, I'll get fucking teared up watching it. And then have to tell them, and then having to tell them, stop feeding these people. You're going to kill them.
Yeah,
they are on the they are starving to death right now. And if you overfeed them, their stomachs are literally going to explode, and they're going to die. Stop giving them water. Stop giving them food. And then you have to watch Easy Company push them back in the gates and lock the fucking gates until they can get relief and medical staff there to treat them. I'm just like, how fucking hard would that have been if you were an Easy Company to liberate these people?
Imagine you're the German interpreter who is Jewish.
That's what I'm saying. He's the person that I can relate to the most. Liebgotts?
Yeah, Liebgotts.
So, in the last episode, when they're going down, and he's like, you know, this is where that guy who supposedly ran one of those camps was, and the other guy's like, oh man, he could just be a farmer, or a baker or whatever, and he just fucking, like, you're making it personal. He's like, fuck yeah, it's personal. And I get that. Of course it would be personal at that point. How could it not be personal?
Even if those people in that town turned a blind eye to what was going on, that is a fucking crime against humanity in itself. Yep. And every single one of them, when you see them get their fucking dues, when they're digging the fucking graves, and the baker is being robbed of all of his bread, and all that shit, you're like, good. Fuck those people.
Yep.
Whether you actually had a part in it or not, you let this happen in your fucking town.
And I loved how they made a long hold on the shot of the
Nazi's wife.
The officer's
The
wife.
officer's
Yeah.
wife. Yeah.
And the Harvard guy who like roughed up the baker, I loved it when the baker was like trying to proclaim his innocence, how he didn't know, and he's like, "Nah, fuck that! Don't tell me you didn't smell burning."
Smell that? Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't smell that? Yeah, that was
No.
fucking great.
Yeah.
You know, of all the things my dad talked about in the war, like I said, some of which he may have done, some of which he may not have done, because it was my dad and he liked to tell tall tales. But he said he'll never forget, or he never did forget, I should say, since he's dead. Thanks, Paul. But
Thanks, Paul.
he said, you know, when you see napalm drop and you smell people burning, he's like, that's a smell you never, ever forget.
Yeah,
He's
that
like-
Agent Orange. Yeah.
You know, he's like, you know, did I have to kill people? Yes. He's like, and I have to live with that. He's like, but that didn't bother me nearly as much as smelling another human on fire. And I was like, that makes sense. I mean, I can assume it would smell fucking awful. I wouldn't know. I've never set anybody on fire.
Yeah.
Yet. Now, I did tell you what he asked me to do when he died, right? And I'm not joking about this. This is an actual thing he asked me to do. So, my father, he had it all written out and everything. He's like, when I die, I want you to come up to Missouri, take my body, and he had this little map, and he's like, I want you to take my body here, and I want you to set me on fire.
I was reading something recently. One of the states up in like the New England area are actually going to, or I think they just did pass to make Viking funerals legal
That would be so
in their state, because apparently it's becoming a fucking hot trend where people want to have fucking Viking funerals. They want to be put on a boat and then fucking lit on fire and sent out to fucking sea. And I was like,
Goddamn
well,
David.
when you think of, I'm like, yeah, that sure.
Today's a
Yeah,
good day to die, Valhalla.
He's the hell would have put me in a fucking oven and then put me in a fucking jar. Like,
But-
fuck that.
See, here was my argument with my father. It was twofold. One, I'm not going to jail for you because you're a piece of shit. That was number one.
Two, Paul should have done it already when he killed him.
Right.
I mean,
That's
that's
two.
sloppy work.
I should have sent them to Valhalla. You're correct. That was my
Right.
fault.
So three was, I said, dude, do you know how expensive phosphorus is? Like, that's what we would need to burn your bones. I mean, like, bones don't burn with just wood and shit, Dad. That's not how it works. That fire's not going to get that hot. And
Yeah, just ask Stephen Avery.
I watched Supernatural, and they could do it with a cup full of lighter fluid and salt. All right.
Right. That's so realistic. That and that
That's
blade.
where the ghost.
That-
Well, listen, if jet fuel can fucking melt steel beams, I'm pretty sure it can take care of human boats.
Well, guess what else I don't have access to, John? Jet fuel.
My best friend growing up, his father worked for, maybe I shouldn't say this out here, his father worked for fucking unloading the planes at the airport, and once a week we used to fucking go to the and pull my friend's car in there, and his dad would give us fucking jet fuel for the fucking car. We would steal it from fucking to put it in the car. It was fucking insane.
In the Navy, whoever designed aircraft carriers was a huge fucking genius. An aircraft carrier is nuclear powered, and the way it works is it uses radiation, ion, creates steam to power the blah blah blah. The steam is what we use for fresh water. Once you distill that steam, it's fresh water. So we collect it in a giant freshwater tank. Well, JP5, which is jet fuel, the JP5 tank is right next to the water tank, and it's above the water tank.
Of course
So-
it is.
So
Why would it be?
So everybody in the U.S. Navy knows what jet fuel tastes like because every single aircraft carriers leaks into the water supply.
Yeah.
So like it got to a point where when I got back from my first sea deployment, like water just didn't taste right to me without jet fuel laced into it.
So you had to put a cup of gasoline on your table and then
So what-
inside it.
what kind of tank are they using to hold jet fuel? Like, what's this tank made out of?
Steel, everything's
Okay, let's say it, because
Vibranium.
when I was making explosions as a kid, not that I did that.
I was making explosions in the sky. Not that I did that, but
I love that album.
The Earth
That's
is not a
band.
cold dead place.
So good.
Oh,
But,
God, I love that album.
We used to take like toys and we would make explosions, and I figured out a way to make explosions that would make a semi mushroom cloud. So you would take like the finger off of a latex glove, fill it with flour, and then tie a knot in it. And then on the other end of the knot, you put another part of the finger, fill it with WD-40. And so as you dropped it, the WD-40 would eat through the latex, hit the fire, and then when the powder hit, it would puff up. I had too much time on my hands as a child.
these are fun things you can do at home, kids.
Yeah, but it will eat through latex very fast, so get ready for a fire, because it will go quickly.
Doug, haven't heard your comments on Band of Brothers.
I like Band of Brothers, man. I've seen it once before. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. I don't have the same reverence for it that you guys do, and it's not because it's not good. To be honest, as you guys were talking, I was looking at its Wikipedia, just kind of getting a view of things, because I knew Tom Hanks and Spielberg were involved. I didn't realize Graham Yost wrote 2 of the episodes in the series.
Justified, yep.
But I don't know. As I get older, I have a tough time watching stuff like this that just really fucking. It's not that it brings me down. I know it's there for a reason and that, but it's like I don't know. I don't want to sound like a typical stoner dick because I get made fun of that all the time. But like, I just want to laugh. Like I don't know. I liked it. I did like it. I don't hate Band of Brothers. I want that to be clear. It was a chore to get through it the second time because there's just so many parts of it that just kind of were just heavy.
God, spoken like a true hippie communist.
I will say this: I did not cry.
That's weird.
Yeah, I didn't cry.
Yeah, I did.
And maybe it's because of when I watched it, because I powered through it from like 4 a.m. till 10 a.m. or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't cry. I came close, but I didn't actually have tears.
I'll be honest with you, during the hour-and-a-half documentary, the after documentary of Band of Brothers that I just watched this week, I cried damn near the whole fucking time.
I came closest to crying the entire show during, at the very end when Winters was reading that letter.
Real life Popeye and like Dick Winters talk about that D-Day when they took out the guns and Popeye got shot in the ass. Like, he's like, the real Dick Winters is like, imagine this. I'm asking the men to go into battle with me. We go into something we didn't plan for. He gets shot, and he's apologizing to me and everybody else around him for screwing up. He's like, I am so proud. Those are the men I served with. Like, he didn't complain. He didn't cry. He was like, I'm sorry, sir. I got shot in the ass. I fucked up.
What? 4 of them got shot in the ass. Like, they just like getting shot in the ass.
Something bit me.
So next week we talk about Mississippi Grind. So Doug, you have to pick your choice. What is our assignment, Doug?
Here's a
Yeah, Pineapple Express.
No, it's gonna be Tiptoes. I don't give a fuck. We're doing Tiptoes, man.
Is there a place for free or do you
It's on Amazon Prime. I think it's on Tubi too.
And it's the
But
role of a lifetime for Gary Oldman. According to him, I have my next one picked out, and I apologize in advance for how long it is.
I don't want to do Tiptoes, man. Like I kind of figure like everyone's gonna hate it now. It's gonna backfire in my face.
No,
Coming to
I'm
America
fine
too.
with it. I
watch
know.
it. That's what you pick. I'll watch it.
You know, it is what it is. I mean, some of it's payback for having to watch QAnon Into the Storm, and some of it's just because it's my favorite trilogy of all time. But we're gonna watch a trilogy.
Before, during, and after, fucking sunset, sunrise, fucking.
It's all just before.
Miami.
Called the Before trilogy.
Am withdrawing Tiptoes. I don't want any part of this. God damn it! All right.
Wait, you want me to pick something different? Because I can pick something different.
You're gonna pick something equally as sad or depressing or worse, man. I know what you're gonna do. You're doing this as a revenge tactic.
Is the before trilogy the futuristic? Like, we're
No, there's
Ant-
nothing futuristic about this film.
So
Okay.
fucking, it's like a love story.
okay.
That spans
It's-
over 30 years. Each film is like 10 years apart. They're good.
Yes.
They're just.
Did you watch Before Midnight?
I own all of them, dude. Oh, Paul. You're asking Paul. Sorry.
I have no idea. I have no idea. When you said it, I thought it was that futuristic, like humans on Earth are like ants.
Battlefield
No,
Earth? No, that ain't it.
no.
Oh, that fucking
It's
movie's
new.
horrible.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what
new-
we're watching next week.
No, I
It's kinda like
watched that once.
Hunger Games.
It's like Hunger Games before.
We're gonna watch Cowboys versus Aliens. That's it. Choose about next.
Humans on Earth are humans.
Johnny
but, like,
Fabs.
I gotta figure out what the fucking name of the movie.
All right, so
are.
I've got
That's what
Mississippi
I'm
Grind.
talking
I'm gonna watch Mississippi Grind today, and I'll watch Tiptoes.
Mississippi Grinds is so far what I've seen is really good. Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds
yeah,
is
it's actually
really
sick.
good in it too.
I'll figure out something that's not a trilogy to make Doug cry, because I know Doug doesn't like to cry.
It's not that I don't want to cry. It's just like, why do I gotta? I don't want to keep watching depressing shit. We only got a limited time left on this planet. Let's enjoy it and laugh.
But there are laughs. I'll ruminate on mine.
I thought we made the rule that we would only do one movie.
Yeah, you're the one that made that rule, actually, Bob. So pick a movie in the series. You want to do one, fine, but we're not doing all three. Thank you,
I'll
Paul.
pick a movie. I will pick a movie. I will pick a movie. Google's longest film ever made. Let's see.
Google made a movie?
Nope. I'm Googling what is the longest film ever made.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Hey, here's the movie. No, hold on. The longest movie ever made has a runtime of 35 days and 17 hours. Are you sure you want to go down this road, Doug?
Yeah, because I'm vetoing that right now. We're not doing that.
You can't veto something. There's 4 of us. You
I am putting a cap on it at 3 hours. It has to be 3 hours or under.
No, we did the Snyder Cut, and that was 4 hours.
We
Fuck
did not
off.
do the Snyder Cut because John never watched the Snyder Cut, you dipshit.
That's John's fault. We all, the rest of us, watched the Snyder
The
Cut.
fuck did I do?
I just want to say, so far, I'm thankful that I'm the only person who's seen everybody's picks. Like, I've seen Mississippi Grind, I've seen Tiptoes.
No, I will get to Mississippi Grind at some point today when I'm not sleeping due to the stupid shot.
When we start to think of ideas to pick to watch, we should check to see if anybody else has watched them. Like, I don't want Paul, I know Paul will do it, but like I don't think people should have to rewatch stuff they've already watched unless they're okay with it.
When you're deployed in the military, it is 90% downtime. In like 10% you're actually in shit doing stuff. So on that 90% downtime, I've watched some weird, crazy shit, like Tiptoes.
I
like
never in a
Mississippi
million
Grind. Like I've seen a lot of random shit.
I never in a
I will
million
tell
years
you.
would have thought you've seen that.
Shotgun.
I will tell you
Yeah,
on the
Hobo
plus
with a
side,
shotgun.
I love Hobo with a Shotgun. That's a great movie.
Great
Rubber.
movie.
no one's talking about the vaccination, but the
movie?
big no getting
Or
getting
in reality,
getting your COVID vaccination. So the big thing about it is my 5G has gone up exponentially.
It's awesome. I can't
I
wait.
mean, like I can fucking I've got signal for days.
It's great.
I mean, I just hold it right next to my arm and fucking boom.
Thanks, Bill Gates. Appreciate you.
We both know what my number 1 is, so we can just get that out of the way now.
Dawson's Creek.
Fuck yeah, the creek.
Absolutely, buddy.
I would call that a teen drama.
Shut the fuck up, Paul.
Your fucking teen drama.
I have to shit again, so
Go take your shit. Good to
Yes.
see you guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.
later, guys.
Adios, amigos.